8 items that we should all be stocking up on here in August of 2024. Let's discuss. Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another coffee rant with Dano and Frank, our Patriot Bald Eagle. You have to hit pause on this video to get your coffee or whatever beverage you deem necessary. Go ahead and do that now. This may or may not be a lengthy discussion, but we've got 8 items here that we need to discuss. I consider these essential items, especially after what I went through the other day. That's right. I came home from my adventure to a festival, and I realized very quickly at that festival that I was not prepared at all. And I thought to myself, practice what you preach, Dano. Because I was not prepared. I was not prepared at all. And I'll tell you what, this, doing this every day, doing these YouTube videos, the one thing I can tell you is, you always think, like, I just got to get through it, just like a work day, right? Just like a work day. But I was not prepared. We'll go into a little bit more of my story and how I kind of didn't really describe it in the video as bad as it really was. It's kind of what gave me the inspiration to do these 8 items that would have probably really helped me out in the situation that I was in. Okay, so we're going to get right into it here. Number 1, I feel, is the obvious: water. Water. Stock up on water because we are entering August, guys. And these are all items that are, I don't know where you live. It could be different. I would have to say pretty much everywhere south of Cincinnati, Ohio is probably dealing with some blazing heat. It is as hot as you can imagine here. You guys know, me and Jessica travel to Florida 3, sometimes 4 times a year, and it gets hot in Florida. And I'll tell you what, for as much as I prepare when I go to Florida, I was not prepared the other day here. It's rare we get days this hot. There's usually only a few, but it's good to prepare nonetheless. So, number 1, water. Everybody's going to be stocking up on water too. So this is an item I would just recommend picking up. If you don't have any, I know we always talk about getting the sales and the deals as we come across them, but if you don't see any sales or deals, and if you're out of water, buy it anyway, because chances are a lot of people are going to be buying water this month. And depending on where you live, if you live in Florida, I know we've got the Hurricane Debbie, I think it is, or tropical storm, whatever it is now. I know it was a category 1 there before. I always say, if you want to talk to somebody that knows how to prepare, talk to a friend or family member from Florida, as to where they always have to prepare for these different hurricanes and bad weather. And number 1 on their list, at least for everybody that I've talked to, is always water. I think water should be number 1 on the list for everybody. Now, number 2, as you might have saw in the thumbnail, liquid IV. Guys, this stuff it works. It really does. It is 3 times the electrolytes. It's got your 100% daily value of essential B vitamins, B3, B5, B6, B12. This stuff has been proven time and time again by many different scientists. A lot of our viewers recommended this to me the other day when I thought I was going to pass out from heat exhaustion. The sad thing is that I have this. We have a lot of it, and I didn't take any with me. I didn't take any water with me. Silly Dan. Silly Dan. It's actually no excuse. I have no excuses for that. I guess I just didn't really think it would be. I was going to a festival, so it was like, okay, well, I can get water or whatever, But Jessica even got me a backpack. Okay, a backpack that has like different water slots, and it's a really nice backpack she got for a great deal. We're going to be taking it to Florida with us, but I didn't even think to take it with me. I just kind of ran out the door. Another thing is the little bag that I use. I don't want to get it like soaking wet with my camera in there and stuff like that. But we're going to go into some things of how I usually prepare and why you can't slip up, guys. You can't slip up. And I will go into that story of how it was worse than I really put off in that video. But anyway, liquid IV or Gatorade. I used to drink Gatorade all the time. We get this stuff now. Jessica gets a pretty decent deal, a little bit of a deal on Amazon. So if you order from Amazon, you can get this on Amazon, and it really is. As I was over here, I drank one of these as soon as I got home, even though I felt like I was a little hydrated, and I felt great. It was like, now it may not be for everybody, but it works for me and Jess. Works really good. Okay, now I feel like all of these are important. this is number 3. I do put Gatorade for the number 2 also. Like, if you don't like the liquid IV, it's good to drink Gatorade to get some more electrolytes in your system, especially if you're sweating out a lot of salt, like I was, and it got crazy. We'll get into that after our list here. Number 3, an umbrella or a big hat to block out the sun. Now, all of these are lessons that I've learned from traveling to Florida, okay? Always good to have that sun out of your eyes, out of your face. That sun can really take it out of you. It can really get the best of you. Or an umbrella. Now, I've literally walked around Florida with an umbrella, and, you see all these, you may look silly, but hey, you're the guy that's not getting the sunshine in your face, and you're actually, even though it's still humid and hot, the sun's not beating down on your face. Now, me personally, I would rather carry an umbrella than wear like a big hat out in 100-degree weather, right? That's just me though, but that's one of the things that I thought, like the other day when I was felt like I was going to pass out, an umbrella keeping the sun out of my face would have helped. Next on the list, something I did have, but it's one that I did think of, especially in this kind of heat where the sun is oppressive, is suntan lotion. Make sure you wear suntan lotion, right? That every dermatologist is going to tell you to wear suntan lotion because of the sun's rays and everything. You don't want to get sunburned and different things like that. And plus, long exposure to the sun can cause other problems. Want to make sure that you always have suntan lotion. And another reason why I mention that is because some people have been talking about periodically over the channel here that you've been having trouble finding suntan lotion. I always seem to see it at grocery stores. I notice like at places like Walmart or Target or some of these other places that aren't like big major grocery stores, they're usually the places that sell out of it. And I think that's because, I don't know, like I've seen it low at Walgreens before, but usually I usually see a lot of it at Meijer and Kroger. We had some people or one person that was saying they couldn't find any at Walmart. A lot of people are buying it up right now, guys. Another item that, these items, I wouldn't worry so much about sales. We're just throwing sales to the side for a second. If you can find a good deal on them, great. Maybe check through Amazon or something. But these are things like, as we get into August, the hottest month of the year, okay, we need to make sure that we are keeping our bodies hydrated and protected from the sun. So just make sure you have that. Okay. Number 5 is light clothing. One thing I learned the other day is that why am I wearing a black shirt out in 100-degree weather? That was very dumb. That was very dumb on my part. And it wasn't just, it was a heavy cotton. Like, this is kind of light. This is kind of light, my motorcycle shirt here. And the sleeves are off, which the sleeves are off of the other ones. But that was a real heavy cotton shirt. Why, Dan? Why? It was like everything that could, it's like, I feel like this video was done so that we learned from this, right? I learned from this so that I can talk to you and hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. Okay, that was a very heavy cotton. I'm not saying don't wear black, but wear something light or something breathable, something like golf shirt material, you know what I mean? Like that mesh material where it doesn't sweat through, like this, even this kind of shirt. If I'm out in the sun working or something, this is going to sweat to the bone. I will be able to wring this out. You don't want to wear shirts like that. Wear stuff that is really light, especially in this kind of heat. This is a special kind of heat here in Cincinnati. I understand a lot of people from the South are used to this kind of stuff. Not me. Not me. I mean, we're used to the heat, but I mean, it was a little something special. And it's hot out today, too. It's like 93 degrees and as humid as you can peel sweat off your skin. It is so hot. So light clothing, I would say like white, like a light white, or like a bright green, bright colors, something that the sun's not going to be like, strangling you with the sun rays. Okay, number 6 is one that Jessica really likes here, something that I'm not really fond of because I don't like things around my neck, right? But she uses a cooling towel, and they are nice. They are nice because really, I mean, it's nice to put it in ice cold water, but really you don't have to. Like if you're walking around Florida or something, turn on the cold water in a bathroom or something, just run that thing under there, and it does keep your neck cool. Wring it out, and it just stays cool. I don't know what causes that or how it works, but it really does. And she's put it over my neck before. I just don't like that kind of stuff, You know, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I know a lot of people are. And Jessica, she claims that it saves her. And it does. It does. It'll kind of get those. When you're that hot and you put like a cooling towel on and you can kind of feel the hairs stick on the back of your head, stick up on the back of your neck or whatever, you know it's working, right? So, I mean, I do use it from time to time, but you shouldn't be letting yourself get that hot to begin with. We're going to go into that here in just a few minutes. So number 7 is another one that Jessica swears by. Something else I'm not huge fond of, but I do use every now and then, is a neck fan. Now, this is a fan that goes around your neck, and it literally has 2 little fans here that blow in your face. Now, in this kind of weather, I don't know how good that's going to be because it is just going to be blowing hot air in your face. But maybe that's better than nothing. I have seen ones, I don't know if they're like little air conditioners, but you know how they have the little slots? They don't look like fans. They look like a AC thing. That might be cool. And as most of you have seen in some of our videos, Jessica has a handheld fan that she uses a lot. We actually have like 2 or 3 of those, and we take those with us. Jess takes hers everywhere. But they're really nice. They're really nice. You get them on Amazon. It's got like the 3-button thing, really high speed on the 3rd high, and they're about that big. I think they're like $10. $10, maybe a couple dollars more, but they are well worth it. And I would rather use one of those than one like around my neck. I just feel like it just kind of makes your head want to sweat more. I don't really know how to explain it. That's just the best way I can talk about it. Okay, number 8 is what I talked about earlier. Have a backpack for all of this stuff. Okay, get you one of them backpacks that got the water slots. Jessica just bought me one of these, and I was silly and did not take it with me. I don't know what I was thinking, guys. I failed in every category of this. I failed in every way. I was not prepared at all. I didn't practice what I preach. And I'm just being 100% honest and open about all this because I felt silly and I felt sick. And we have cases of water. We have tons of this stuff. We have a backpack that I could have easily used. That's lighter than the other one I used, and I was just too afraid that I was going to get my camera wet, which I never put in the bag anyway. I don't know, guys. So most of you, those are our 8 things to beat the heat, and really got these because of my adventure the other day. I thought I was going to pass out from heat exhaustion. It was bad. It was bad. I did not put off in the video as bad as it really was. I kind of just kept talking. I was like, just get through the video, Dan. That's kind of what you do. You know, you go to work. Sometimes you don't feel well and you just get through it, right? Well, I should have just turned the camera off and went home or just sat. It just was not a good day for Dano. It was the hottest I've seen here in Cincinnati in a long time, or felt. When I made it back up the little mountain thing, I thought I was going to fall over. The water, things for the water was a mile long. I was like, I just got to get up to the little coffee shop because I knew they'd have the towers of water, and hopefully it wouldn't have been as packed as it was at GetaFest. By the way, if you haven't checked out my GetaFest video, it is fun. Go around, try different Geta. If you've never had Geta before, I kind of do a little explanation and show what it is and a taste test and all that. Had a good time up until the point to where I got out in that sun, and then it was like, ooh, it hit me quick. Hit me quick, and I was not prepared, guys. It was so, it could have been so easy. Now, I may not have brought an umbrella or anything like that, but I should have had water. If at the least, I should have had some cold waters. Now, I put backpack on here because I want to tell you what me and Jessica also do when we're out in the heat like this. And I don't know why I didn't. I just bought more, which we have tons of these like gallon bags, right? We got ones from IKEA. We got the zipper ones. We're well loaded down on these things. We are well prepared. I just wasn't prepared in my mind of what I was going to be going through on that day. I just kind of ran out the door like, hey, let's go do this video. Everybody wants to see GetaFest, and I wasn't thinking. So anyway, we take the bags, right? We take the sealable bags, and we freeze 3 waters, right? When we're in Florida and we're going out for the day, we know we're going to be out in the sun a lot. We're going to need a lot of water. We put 3 waters, frozen, in a bag. We seal it, put it in the backpack, and then it helps a lot because your back is cool, right? The ice from because your back's slowly melting the water, right? Plus being out in the heat. So by the time you're ready to drink, one of them's already thawed or mostly thawed. And that's the reasoning for the backpack. And there's other things in there that I could have kept my camera in and all this other stuff that I was just trying to be that Dan from years ago, thinking I could just heave through it. But even Dan from years ago was always smart enough to take a lot of Gatorade. I used to drink more Gatorade than water because if I was outside doing work or doing whatever, you know, it was like you wouldn't have a choice. You know, when you work out in it, I think your brain just kind of like, okay, I have to have this or I'm going to pass out, right? I wasn't thinking that this event was going to be that bad, you know, I think being down on the river too, I think that had something to do with it. The heat coming up off the river and the haze and the sun, it was just, whew, it was a nightmare. And I got up to the little coffee stand. I kept saying, well, I'm going to go get coffee. Really what I was doing was I was going to get water because I thought I was going to fall over. I did talk about me getting some water in the video, but after I drank the water, I was literally drinking some of the coffee to kind of get my strength back. I felt like I was going to pass out. It was bad. When you seen in the video, when I come out, I had been sitting in there for like 30 minutes, and I felt like I was going to fall asleep, and I said, no, don't fall asleep. Whatever you're doing, I just keep sipping on water. It was actually a while before I even started drinking the coffee. Like when I turned the camera back on, that was like 20 minutes later. So I guess really I was in there for like 45 minutes. But I finally cooled down my body because I went in there. It was like, even after like 20 minutes, my entire body was on fire. I mean, I felt like I was a chicken cooking in a rotisserie oven, which I pretty much was. And I wasn't thinking about it. And I wasn't prepared. And that is a mistake I will never make again. I learned, you know, we learn all the time, guys. Sometimes we make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But, you know, I'm just throwing this out here to make sure that everybody's safe and make sure that everybody is, you know, careful. Be careful out there. It is hot. It is hot. Don't think like me that you can go out there and just do it and you'll be fine. You think that this ain't going to take a while. Guys, I'll tell you what. When I come home or when I leave from doing a video at like a store or something like that, you know, you may think that it's like 20, 25 minutes. No, I have been filming for like 2-3 hours, which was no different at GetaFest. And I was out there for a long time, which you may not have, you know, you don't see because I'm editing out a lot of stuff. I'm editing, you know, out me panting like I'm going to fall over. But this is why I'm talking about these today, because I want everybody out there to be safe and don't make the same mistakes I did. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you all for your support. Thank you for all of your heartfelt comments in that video. A lot of people were saying, liquid IV, liquid IV, and I'm thinking to myself, reading the comments, I'm like, I had liquid IV. I was silly. I made so many mistakes, but I was like, you know, I guess the one thing about it was people were saying all the things that I knew I should have done and then I didn't. So it's good that a lot of people are aware of things like this and know to take these wherever you go, because, you know, and not just this, water is number one. Water's number one. If you don't want to buy this stuff or anything, you've got to at least have water, right? Water and something to keep the sun out. If you're going to be out in the sun for a few hours, you want to do what you can to keep the sun off of your face, right? If you can't keep it off everything else, you know, a good umbrella works great. Good umbrella works great. Lighter clothing. Don't wear a big, thick black shirt, whether the sleeves are cut off or not. You know, make sure that if you're going to be out in the sun, that you're taking care of your body and your mind. And your mind. I think, you know, that was something that it was like all I could keep thinking of was get through the video, Dan. Get through the video. I wasn't even caring that, you know, I felt like I was going to fall over. But I knew when I got to that point, I better do something or this is going to end badly. And then everything was fine after that. I was kind of glad that the traffic getting out of there was really backed up. Because you guys know I'm one of them people. I go. And it's like I need to learn to slow myself down sometimes. And that slowed me down enough to where the air conditioning was cranking in the car. And I had another thing of water that I'd gotten and about half of my coffee left. And I was good. I was just sitting there in the park. I couldn't move anyway. So I was listening to some music, calm down, made sure that I was good to drive, right? Because that was another concern. I didn't want to, you know, get dizzy or anything. But I was fine after that, and I made it home safe. And again, thank you all for all of your thoughts and comments about that. I really appreciate it. Jess does too. Jess was a little worried, but got through it. Won't make that same mistake again. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.